Good morning and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your guest host, Diana Rich, filling in for Jaron Rosine. I'm joined in the studio this morning by our producer, Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant. And later today, our guest will be the City of Washington Park Superintendent, Nick Pacha. If you have any birthday shout-outs, make sure to put them in the chat below or email washialive@gmail.com. On today's show, we're going to learn more about the roles and responsibilities of the City of Washington Parks Department, how the Wellness Park is doing, and future plans out there. So I'm looking forward to talking to Nick more about that. Let's jump right into the weather. 71 degrees and partly cloudy outside. It did seem like it was going to rain a little bit this morning, but it just spit a little, and it seems to maybe be cleared out until later.
Yeah, I'm glad because I need new windshield wipers, and I've been just like putting it off because we're in a drought. And now I was like, oh crap, it's all of a sudden happening. But I'm good.
Of course, yep. I almost got blown away this morning, but the wind has calmed down a little bit from this weekend, so that's great. Looks like for some local events coming up this week, we have some Halloween festivities on Saturday, the 29th at the YMCA. There's a trunk or treat from 3 to 5 p.m. So if you want to get dressed up and take your kids out there and get some treats, make sure to check that out. I think it's in the YMCA parking lot here in Washington. And then the citywide trick or treat is going to be on Monday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. So I'll pray for those teachers who have to handle those kids on the day after a Monday of Halloween. So
do you take a parent tax of candy?
I don't. No, I try to. Once I start, it goes downhill. So I just try to avoid it.
That's good.
But I usually encourage my kids to take it to school and hand it out. And most recently, I think at homecoming, my son, I guess he's a little entrepreneur. He was taking candy to school and selling it out of his backpack.
Nice.
I know.
I
was like, I feel like I'm not sure if I'm proud or disappointed of you.
I was in middle school. They discontinued Twinkies for because Host Wonder Bread went out of business, and so my friend and I bought a Twinkie maker online and started selling them out of our backpacks. And it was it turned into a whole operation of I heard you have the stuff and open the backpack and
wow, interesting. You might need to go on Shark Tank for that. Homemade Twinkies. All right, jumping into the police report. Looks like 19 traffic stops, 6 arrest warrants, 5 fire calls, 5 calls for welfare checks, 5 for suspicious activities, 3 harassment, 3 animal checks, 3 civil standby, 2 sex offender checks, 2 tobacco violations, and the list goes on. 68 total calls, which doesn't seem too crazy for the weekend.
Yeah, I guess if that's 3 days, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. Okay.
I said the weather's not good enough for crime with all the wind.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. There you go. Everybody stays inside when it's windy. And a couple highlights here that Nick pulled out for us. Had a caller report being out with an unoccupied vehicle and a subject in a golf cart that is possibly sleeping. 102 spoke with the subject in the golf cart. No issues. Vehicle is unoccupied on private property. Unsure why it's there.
It's a good Saturday night.
Yeah.
Wake up in a golf cart, you don't know how you got there.
At least the weather was nice. Let's see here. Another one for suspicious activity on the 23rd. Caller reports finding bones in her backyard. Requests an officer. 102 responded. Items were retrieved by 102 and turned over to medical examiner. You think this is Halloween decorations?
I didn't even think about Halloween decorations. I was hoping it was animal. I feel like you could be able to look and distinguish between animal and human, but that's concerning. I hope they are Halloween decorations.
It's a little
Wasn't
concerning.
it last time on the show, there was the foot hanging out of the trunk that someone called?
Gets me every time. I pit in my stomach. I'm like, oh, Halloween. All right. And then a traffic accident in Wellman. A caller reports hitting the gas instead of the brake and hitting a building. 9214 responded. State accident report to be filed. A request for license reevaluation also submitted.
I feel like a lot of people need to go through a license reevaluation.
Yeah, probably. I have almost hit the gas a couple times when I was supposed to hit the brake, so I've been there, but I have not.
I've done the thought I was in reverse going forward mistake.
Yes. Yep. So.
Maybe I need a reevaluation.
Nothing too serious, but just a couple highlights. So, all right. Anything else that we need to cover before we take a break and then chat with Nick?
I think we're good to go to break.
All right. Sounds good.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
This is just a general statement. I wondered why the ball was getting bigger. Then it hit me. Oh, man.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your guest host, Diana Rich, joined in the studio with the City of Washington Parks Superintendent, Nick Pacha.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for coming in today.
Good to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about your background and how you got into this position?
Well, a little bit about my background. I grew up around the Oxford area, Clicker-Comana graduate way back in the day. Went on to Central College. Go Dutch. Sorry, I know you're a Wartburg graduate.
I was hoping we wouldn't bring that up.
Yeah, well, I think Wartburg beat Central in football, so we won't bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then most recently, before I was park superintendent here in Washington, I was the city administrator in Wellman for 4 years, and then just heard about this position through previous city administrator Brent Hinson, and decided it was a good time for a change in my life and career. And I like to say I'm a recovering city administrator, so it's a challenging position, and our local city administrators do a great job. So came over to the park superintendent position in the fall of 2015. So it's crazy, going on 7 years here pretty soon, and have really enjoyed the job, getting to know everybody in the area, and just kind of wear a lot of different hats with my current position, and it's good. Got a lot of done a lot of things, and got a lot of exciting things coming up in the Parks Department. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What's your degree in? Is it in like administration?
Business management, communications. Okay. Yeah. So still get to do some city stuff with the budget and park board and city council, but get to be outside doing lots of different things every day and still get some office work. So it's a nice mix.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to say you seem to be an outdoors guy and enjoy that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Very good.
Especially in these nice fall days. Now in the middle of winter, it's a little different.
I'll check back in then and see
I'm out there scooping snow and you drive by and see me. Yeah.
Right. Tell me a little bit about your team and I guess who else is on the City of Washington Parks Department with you? Yeah.
So we have 2 full-time employees, myself and Jason Peterson. And before that, I was the only full-time. Jason got hired, or that position got created in anticipation of the additional wellness park, 80 acres of additional park ground, 4 softball, baseball fields, 2 multi-purpose fields. So a lot of additional work. So the council created that position. Trying to remember when Jason started, like the summer of 19, I believe. And so we're the 2 full-time employees, so we work year-round. And then we've got, 4 to 6 part-time employees, kind of full-time part-timers that go April through around Thanksgiving. And that's a combination of a couple guys go 40 hours a week, and then a couple guys just do 3 days a week. One of the guys specializes in just mows. And then we've got, of course, some of our staff take care of the flowers there by the log cabin, in Sunset Park, and of course downtown, all of our flowers there. So Mary Langer does that for us.
Yeah, I saw her working just, I think, Friday maybe, or this weekend. Yep.
Time of year cleaning out the flower beds. So yeah, it's a smaller staff, but we've got a lot of responsibility and get a lot of things done. Yeah,
that's great. Do you want to tell me about some of the things that you guys manage and take care of? I mean, I think, it kind of speaks for itself, but I'm guessing a lot of people don't really understand kind of all of the things that you guys take care of.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, of course, parks. With all the different parks, of course, Sunset Park's our largest park, about 40 acres, and great park with the 2 play sets, New Dawn, the wood play set, and of course the historic rocket slide.
I remember helping build the New Dawn at Sunset way back when I was in high school, or like put mulch in or something.
Yep.
It was kind of a community effort.
Yeah, I think
It's been a nice addition to the community.
late 90s was built, and still a great feature, very popular.
Yeah.
A lot of out-of-town folks come in and use that there's daycares from Corville and North Liberty that come down and use it.
Oh, awesome.
It's still in great shape and very popular.
Well, I love that it's like on the main street, so people driving through can see something like that and be like, oh, that's cool, and stop. So,
Yep. So we've got Sunset Park and all that associated with that from there's a skate park there, our disc golf course that we expanded from 9 to 18 holes. We've got our dog park there on the west side. And then the outdoor pool, which we manage and work closely with the Y on that. So myself and Jason are the certified pool operators. We take care of the maintenance and the chemicals and everything associated with that, repairs. And then the YMCA manages the concessions and the lifeguards and does all the training with that and manages that aspect of it. So it's a good relationship and works well. And then we've got what we call like Upper Sesqua, which is like a prairie area up by Hayes Timber. Got some nice prairie grass up there and some walking trails. Lower Sesqua is kind of the start of the Key Wash Trail. There's a parking area there and a shelter and some more prairie. The Wellness Park, like I mentioned, is about 85 acres, so that's quite a maintenance area there.
Yeah, no kidding.
What we call East Creek or East Water Tower Park's about 7 acres over on the east side of town on the where the East Water Tower sits.
Yeah.
Along Adams there where they're doing some street work there.
Little baseball field there.
Yep. A little baseball field, nice flat like kind of soccer field area for pickup games and maybe some flag football. There's with the Adams construction, there's going to be a sidewalk, or actually I think it's just a sidewalk. I don't think it's going to be wide enough for a trail. That's going to go around 2 sides of that, and then hopefully future expansion will get it around the third side to give some more connectivity in that town.
Yeah.
Or on that side of town. Right. So that'll be good. And then North Park, which is right adjacent to Stewart School, so we take care of the playground area there. Greenfield and Redlinger Fields, the 2 ball fields over by Case Football Field, and new renovated tennis pickleball courts over there, so we kind of maintain all that. And the little play area associated there at Redlinger. And that's where, and Nick, you were just talking, we just added a East Side dog park over in that area.
Okay.
So it's kind of if folks are familiar with that area, it's kind of the outfield fence of Redlinger, and then outside of that, before you get to the play area, there's kind of some no man's land there. All fenced in already, so we added a gate there, closed off one area. There's already some water there. So as we get time, and as time allows, we'll add a sidewalk and a little shelter there and shade, but just a nice area for folks on the east side of town, instead of going all the way west to Sunset Park. It's a nice little dog park area for that.
Yeah, that's a great idea, especially with the park there and the fields and the pickleball and tennis.
Yep.
Great.
Then, of course, Madison Park, the old Madison Park, and then a couple years ago, the city acquired the Jones property. It was kind of a vacant house, Violet and Triv Jones, and their family donated that to the city. The city demolished the house and then moved the garage and had a blank space, so we decided to expand the current Madison Park and make a nice green space there. Kind of on the main drag. And,
yeah, that looks nice.
Put some money into it with landscaping and built the pavilion there in-house. Had some local businesses that were very generous in their support of that, with EBD donating the lumber and the trusses, and then Washington Lumber donating some of the materials too. So that was great. Looks nice. Nice area. Closed off the alleyway there to make it cohesive. And then, of course, Central Park. There's so many events that happen at Central Park each year, from, of course, the Farmers Market every Thursday, to some church services, to the Big Town Festival, to concerts and movie nights on Friday nights, and just seems like that park got even more busy with COVID, and everybody moved everything outdoors.
Yeah, right.
So maintaining that, and of course the historic fountain. So it's about a 90-year-old fountain, which presents challenges, and keeping it running every year. You cross your fingers when you push the button.
It's so pretty, though.
It is. It's neat. It's the kind of the logo and the icon of the city, and it's a nice feature, and everybody's got great memories of that, and it's nice. So. What else? The Key Wash Trail, the city staff maintains the in-town portion. We work closely with Zach and County Conservation on the Key Wash, and that's other areas in town. I think that's most of them. There's 4th Avenue Park there by the railroad tracks. There's a lot of other little areas we maintain kind of around town. Of course, City Hall and Police Fire Station. We got to maintain those grounds and stuff. So. Keeps us busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm exhausted just listening to all those things.
Yeah.
Wondering how you keep that all straight.
Yeah, it's challenging. And then everything else that pops up.
Right.
So.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Well, so you mentioned the fountain. Is there a time you put it to sleep for the winter? Is that coming up soon?
Yeah, so it's already drained. So we try to get it open before Memorial Day, a week or two before Memorial Day, again, depending on what issues and leaks and problems we have, to get that going, and then keep it running all summer. And then we used to kind of shut it down around Labor Day. I try to keep it open depending on, of course, mechanical issues, and the leaves are the big thing. So I try to keep it open through homecoming because of the festivities down there.
Yeah.
And then the fall craft fair, usually like the first weekend in October. So we got through all that this year, and then the leaves really started falling. So we went ahead and pulled the plug and drained it, and we put the cover on for the decoration for winter here shortly, and get that fired up around Thanksgiving, the Saturday after Thanksgiving when the parade is and everything.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
Yep. And we assist the Main Street and Chamber with putting up some of the other decorations downtown and the building lights and all that. So
yeah, very
keeps
busy.
us hopping in the fall.
No kidding. So what does a normal day look like? I mean, with all of those responsibilities, I mean, how do you juggle all that or manage your time?
It really depends on the time of year. Obviously, in the middle of the summer when it's raining and grass is growing, we've got plenty to mow and string trim and spray. In the spring, everything kind of comes to a head in the spring. It's a busy time, with soccer gets going, baseball and softball, so you got to get all the fields ready and get those going. And then, of course, you got to get the fountain going by a certain time, and don't forget about the outdoor pools. You got to get going by a certain time, and that's got its challenges coming out of winter every year. And then the flowers, it's all at the same time. So it's juggling, deadlines and priorities then. Now in the fall, when we shut down the pool and the fountain, we get to catch our breath and work on some other little projects that we kind of just put off, that we don't have time for in the summer. So like currently we're putting the finishing touches on a new shelter at the north end of the Wellness Park along the North 18th soccer fields.
Okay.
Again, generous donations from EBD and Washington Lumber for that. Built that in-house with the help of our Public Works Department, and got it all framed up. We're got the concrete poured and getting ready to put the metal on the roof here as soon as the weather and the wind allow.
Yeah, it looks great. My son played soccer out there this weekend, so I got to take a look at it. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Nice addition to the area as that continues to develop.
Yep. Another amenity to that area, I think back in the day, those were going to be temporary soccer fields until the Wellness Park got built, but they're good solid fields, and we're starting to kind of just put some work into that and dress those up, and they'll become permanent.
Yeah.
So,
Talking about the Wellness Park. So the Wellness Park started in Washington how many years ago, and kind of how are things going, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the concept of the Wellness Park has been around for a long time, way before me, back to the mid-90s. There was groups started and then had some momentum, got some conceptual designs started, and then just kind of fizzled out for lack of funding and different things. When I interviewed for the job, I knew that this was going to be a priority for, the city administrator and council, is to get this back on the radar. And that was in 2015. And then in 2017, a committee was formed and approved by council, and then went through the process of that. And I believe we did our first dirt work in 2019. Of course, making rolling farm fields into flat ball fields was quite a challenge. Moved a lot of dirt and did all the kind of the not glamorous parts of putting in the water, sewer, electric, the roadbed, storm infrastructure. So DeLong's did a majority of that. And then in 2020 was the finishing touches of adding the fences and putting the final infields in, the concrete around the concession stand done by Griner Buildings, irrigation on all the ball fields, parking lot and all that. And so that was in 2020. And then we had our first ball games in the spring of 21 there. So we just finished up our second year.
That's awesome. It's been a huge asset to the community, and I know it gets used a ton, and now people are like, well, when are 4 more fields going to be added?
Yeah.
What's the next plan? So
So it's great to have. It's something that the city of Washington, we can be proud of to have. It was kind of a hodgepodge of fields across town, and wasn't real conducive to host tournaments of bouncing around town to different fields. And it's nice to have a central location, and it's a great amenity to have, and to keep folks here that want to raise a family, to get folks to move here to raise a family, and just something to be proud of. We've got a lot of momentum started and got a lot of future plans and conceptual designs for it down the road.
Well, it looks great. Yeah, it's awesome start. And the sand volleyball out there, I know that's been nice to have that, and the soccer fields there. So very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll probably take a commercial break, and then we'll finish talking to Nick maybe about future plans of the Wellness Park and what else his team is up to this winter.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your guest host, Diana Rich, joined in the studio by Park Superintendent Nick Pacha. We're just talking about all the things that his team manages as far as the parks go in Washington. And I've lived here my whole life, and he named more parks than I knew that we had. So imagine that. I mean, when he starts naming them off, I'm like, well, that's a lot. So, and then we just kind of finished our conversation, or headed into commercial. We were talking about the Wellness Park and what a great addition that's been to the community. So what else is going on at the Wellness Park? What do you guys hope to continue to build out there?
Yeah, so in the original conceptual designs, there was always a spot slated for a play set up there. So again, like we talked about earlier, awesome complex. It's kind of leaning towards more of a sports complex now. I'd like to, get it some of those park amenities back. The only complaints we get about it are shade, which it's, got to work on that with some man-made structures, and then give the trees. We've done a lot of work on tree plantings out there. We've got over 75 trees planted out there with our tree committee. And then the only other complaint is, there's no play set or something for siblings to do while, the other kids are playing ball. Yeah. The other ones are kind of going stir crazy. So we've got a lot of momentum, and we've got some generous donations and pledges for a large play set up there. If folks are familiar with it, it's on the main path from the parking lot going up to the ball fields. On the right-hand side, there's a flat open area before you get to the batting cages, and directly across from a new pavilion that was built this spring. It's the Rotary and David Collins Pavilion that was built this spring. So we kind of planned it out for that. But a large, it's upwards of $300,000 play set with a complete ADA compliant soft surface or port-in-place rubber surface. The bad thing about our current play areas, we've got, the rocket slide and the wood play set and the other ones we talked about, but they're not ADA compliant. So we really wanted to get a ADA compliant play set under the city's jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And to have it up there is going to be great because everything's ADA compliant up there with the trail, and we've got some parking and everything. So we've got a grant application into the Riverboat Foundation, keeping our fingers crossed on that. Hopefully hear yes or no on that in the next month or so. And then if we do get that, that's kind of the linchpin, and we'll be able to move forward. Of course, with all the lovely supply chain issues and stuff, it's about a 10-month lead time, but would still work out okay. If we can successful with the grant, give the company a thumbs up, and then late summer, early fall next year for installation. So
yeah,
it'd be great. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'd be a awesome amenity to have up there and kind of make it kind of transition into some park stuff instead of just a sports complex.
Yeah, very cool.
And let's see, other future stuff there at the Wellness Park. Other conceptual designs have a large pond potentially going in there between kind of the ball fields and the soccer fields there to the south. And that's about a 3 surface acre pond. Hope to get that completed in the next phase, whenever that may be. I think our long-term capital improvements plan has got some money slated for that in fiscal 25.
Okay.
So a couple years down the road. And then, of course, adding more trails up there to connect with the Key Wash. We're already connected with the Key Wash through a 10-foot wide concrete trail up to the Wellness Park, and then just extending the trail around the kind of the perimeter of the Wellness Park. Around the 17 acres of prairie grass that we planted this spring, and wildflowers, and other future plans could be a nice large shelter, maybe even like a 4-season shelter where we could host some small events, things like that, family reunions or rehearsal dinners or something, to be determined.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of momentum. People are excited about the park and seeing, the continued work on that. So hopefully we can keep that momentum and keep building it out.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds, it's exciting for the city of Washington and the county, and having all those things so close to home would be awesome.
Yeah.
What about scoreboards out at the fields?
Yes. In the works for soccer.
Okay.
So the high school men's and women's soccer team are using the Wellness Park now for their practice and competition fields. So the one closest to the parking lot is the competition field. So since they're no longer using their scoreboard, we're working on getting it reinstalled out there at the Wellness Park for their
that'll be nice.
competition field.
Yeah.
Now on the baseball, softball fields, it's not. That's probably more of a back burner. Those kind of money wise, those are one of the kind of the first things that get cut.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, but never say never.
Yeah.
But
there's the nice to have and the haves to have.
a little back burner thing. So
okay.
yeah,
very cool.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited about all the things you shared with us today, and I think that's really exciting, and sounds like you have your hands full for sure. So
yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and it's fun to be a part of.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here today.
You bet.
What's the national day today?
It's National Bologna Day.
All right.
So make
Nothing like
yourself a
going in
bologna.
from parks to National Bologna Day. Do you like bologna?
I used to it was one of those things I ate so much as a kid. I'm just sick of it now.
Yeah.
And so I hate bologna.
How about you, Nick? Are you a bologna guy?
Every now and then, yeah. Yep.
Yeah?
You can't go wrong with it.
Fry it or eat it cold?
Nope, just cold. Yeah,
Okay.
just on a sandwich.
It's just something about it. I don't even know if I've ever eaten bologna. So I just can't.
I mean, it's definitely not the most, not the nicest meat.
Yeah. So, all right. National Bologna Day. There you have it. Maybe that'll be, I don't have dinner plans yet, so maybe I'll surprise the kids.
There you go.
All right.
Are you ready for the birthday game to close the show out?
Ready or not?
Highly anticipated. I'm excited.
Excited? Yeah.
So I'll explain the rules off the air, but I'll put a celebrity whose birthday's today and also tomorrow because the birthdays today kind of suck. And you'll guess their age. If you within 3 years, you get a point. If you're right on, you get 2 points.
Okay.
Whoever has the most right on answers will win for the tiebreaker if that comes down to it. So first up, we have Drake, where is he? The singer, rapper.
Oh,
Was was an actor.
That is good. I've heard of
Degrassi.
Drake. Yes.
Yeah. You want to go first, Nick, or you want me to?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I have no idea. I'm going to go with 45.
Okay.
I feel like maybe that's
I'm going to take the under
too old.
and go 41.
He is actually only 36.
Oh, geez.
So no points that time.
Dang
No
it.
points.
And as I said earlier, I apologize.
He looks so mature.
for the birthdays today.
I know who he is.
You know
don't
who? Oh, I guess you do have young boys, so maybe they watch PewDiePie, the most famous YouTuber.
Oh.
He plays video games for a
Oh my
living
gosh.
and makes
makes good money,
millions of dollars.
Oh, his beard's throwing me off, but his job makes me think that he's young. All right, I'm going to go 33.
Oh. I'll go 29.
He is 33, so 2 points.
Wow.
For Diana. 2 points for Nick still.
All
But
right.
still got a lot of celebrities. I guess 2 celebrities to go. We have Katy Perry, the singer, the pop singer.
Katy Perry. Let's see.
I'm going to go. I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
Okay, because 40. I don't know if that's.
They're confident.
I don't know.
41.
She is 38, so you guys both get a point. 3-1. So if you get right on this last one, you could tie it.
Oh, man.
We
That's a lot of
have
pressure.
where is he? We have Craig Robinson from several comedies. Both network comedies, movie comedies.
I'm just going to go straight up 50. No clue.
Huh. Let's go 46.
He is 51. So
All right.
like 4 to 1. A little bit, a slight blowout.
Sorry, Nick. This is my first time winning, I believe. So,
Well, do you want to take a
sorry.
trophy?
No, I won't take the trophy. That's okay. I have too many things on my counter at home right now. So. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us, Nick. I enjoyed talking to you about the parks. And thanks to everybody who joined in today on Washington Live. Please like, follow, and share. Make sure to share suggestions in the chat for future shows or email us at washialive@gmail.com. I'm your guest host, Diana Rich. We'll see you soon.